America's top infectious disease specialist, Time Magazine's Man of the Year, Dr. Anthony Fauci has been correct to assume in 2017 that former President Donald Trump would face a surprise outbreak anytime during his 4 years in office. True enough, the COVID-19 pandemic exploded in the early months of 2020, during which Trump was gearing up for re-election. There is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the area of infectious diseases. So Event 201 was a 3.5-hour pandemic tabletop exercise that simulated a series of dramatic, scenario-based facilitated discussions confronting difficult, true-to-life dilemmas associated with the response to a hypothetical but scientifically plausible pandemic. So Fauci said that Trump's going to face a pandemic, a surprise outbreak of an infectious disease. Governments and corporations had already sat down in a room and planned the whole response. But the virus happened to mutate from a bat naturally. Some guy just ate at a wet market.
World Economic Forum recently published the COVID-19 risks outlook. The third greatest concern for companies surveyed is the increase of cyber attacks, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison.
We got the Colonial Pipeline that happened. By now you've probably heard of the cyber attack involving JBS, one of the country's largest meat producers. Here's the headline for their new article today. Why one hack on one firm can shake global meat supply. Cyber attacks. Guess what they have going again? So remember Event 201, how they did Event 201 before the Plandemic? Reassure the plan before you let it out. Yeah, guess what? The World Economic Forum, Mr. Klaus Schwab and his crew, Cyber Polygon. Digitalization is accelerating everywhere. New digital ecosystems are forming all around us, creating unnoticed linkages across services and supply chains. As the world grows more interconnected, the speed in development makes it difficult to assess the impact of change. A secure approach to digital development today will determine the shape of our future for decades to come. Having the right skills in place is key to protecting organizations from the attack now. What is Cyber Polygon? Cyber Polygon is a unique cybersecurity event that combines the world's largest technical training exercise for corporate teams and an online conference featuring senior officials from international organizations and leading corporations. The 2021 conference discusses the key risks of digitalization and the best practices for secure development of digital ecosystems. The 2021 technical exercise builds and tests the skills needed to protect our industries, centering on the targeted supply chain attack. Every year, the training brings together global businesses and government agencies to collaborate on technical exercises. The live stream draws in millions of spectators from across the globe. This year's discussions during the live stream conference will center on secure development of ecosystems, with global digitalization further accelerating and people, companies, and countries becoming even more interconnected. Security of every single element of a supply chain is key to ensuring the sustainability of the whole system. During the technical exercise, participants will hone their practical skills in mitigating a targeted supply chain attack on a corporate ecosystem in real time. The event will be held on July 9th. Folks, there's some crazy shit coming. I'm just saying. If we just look at the last situation, they said this shit was coming. It came. Guess what they're doing? They're saying this shit is coming. It's probably gonna come. Now this is where I don't know how far it goes. I can't imagine they want society, the entire society in flames. I can't see it. It would have released a deadlier fucking bug in the first place. And I think there's an interesting time frame aspect here too, where you do need to keep a slave class that continues to build up the technology. But once you get the technology built up for automation, then you don't need the slave class anymore. You got the fucking robots. We know That they talk about depopulation all the time, that the world is overpopulated, climate change, blah blah. I mean, I live in Canada and our fucking country's empty. Bigger than the US and only have 35 million people. A lot of livable space in Canada. And I always like to, I don't know who said it, but they talked about the numbers game. Like, the idea of, I used to think maybe we're overpopulated, but at the same time, if we can empower people and the children, we can grow these geniuses that can then come up with the solutions to problems that we may face as humanity. I'd like to think we're almost better off playing the numbers game. I mean, I'd also like to argue that this whole climate change thing is like a massive role aspect. Another invisible enemy. You get to put in a bunch of rules to control your lives. Never know the difference because it's an invisible enemy that you never, like terrorism and climate change. You know what? As a kid, I was taught there was a fucking hole in the ozone that was supposed to kill us all. I don't know what the fuck happened to that because I haven't heard anything about a hole in the ozone in probably 15 years. Al Gore said we were going to be underwater in the 80s. And science went, oh no, actually, we might go through a mini ice age. So then they went, we got to change these words. It can't be global warming. It's just got to be climate change. But then you read a few articles here and there where it's like, oh, these super volcanoes that we didn't really understand have been a lot more active under some of these oceans. And I mean, I'm no genius, but just thinking that like if these super volcanoes are more active, that they'd be heating up a little bit. And they would probably heat up the water a little bit. But the CO2 production, if you read the articles, the green canopy, it's growing. Like if you, I mean, in terms of how much is being cut down via industry and whatnot, that's what we the plants eat this shit up. They're loving it. This would be how you terraform a planet, essentially. So drives me crazy, folks. Anyways, join the Discord. Conspiracy realist. Let's see where we are at here. Tinfoil realist. I will make sure I put a link in the YouTube description. I will do that right now. I want you to join the Discord. I'm gonna put it right in the chat. Boom. That works. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, go to my Twitter at Tinfoil News or at Tinfoil Realist. I got 2 Twitter accounts on the go. I'm trying to grow my new one, which is Tinfoil News. I will be doing a travel through the Twitter timeline in a few minutes. Take a break from this stream. Start a new one. Gonna do a bit of a crypto update. Travel through the Twitter timeline, go through the news and the news I'm reading. And I hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Loris, your favorite tinfoil realist, not theorist. I need friends. Join my Discord. Message me. I need like-minded friends. Ciao, ciao.